this is Ree here. Thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate all of you. Thank you so much for liking and subscribing. It really helps me a lot. Don't forget to check out my website, paradoxastrology.com. Book your consultation today. I can help you with anything. And if you would like more exclusive occult videos that I don't post on YouTube, consider subscribing to my Patreon. It also helps support this channel. Okay, let's get into this video. I just wanted to talk about one nakshatra that is very prominent in a lot of charts of people who make a lot of money. And I have two very unconventional examples. One is the scammer and one is the gambler. I'll explain to you why these are very important. Now, one is Hushpuppi. Hushpuppi was a Nigerian former Instagram influencer, and he was arrested for conspiracy to launder money. Now, detectives, when they arrested him, seized more than $40 million in cash, 13 luxury cars worth $7 million, 21 laptops, 47 smartphones, 15 memory storage devices, and 800,000 emails of potential victims, along as suitcases full of cash. So he was able to make millions, maybe even billions of dollars. Now, the reason I brought this up as opposed to anyone else is because he was born in Nigeria. Now, how does someone born in Nigeria, in a third world country where 40% of the people are impoverished, end up making more than most people do in a first world country where we have more opportunity to do so, and there is almost no opportunity there to do so? It is all in the chart. I'm going to explain that to you and why he chose to be a criminal rather than using his expertise for something else. So this is a lesson on it doesn't matter where you come from. It doesn't matter what you're up against. It doesn't matter what the conditions are. All that matters is your chart, and your chart indicates your past life karma, what abilities you have in this life. For him, for example, he has Mercury in Virgo, and that's in Hasta. Hasta is the markets. It's that wolf on Wall Street. It is the person who can analyze something to the extreme, also giving great skills at communication and knowing money, knowing how to have business alliances, knowing what really needs to be looked at with a microscope in order to accomplish something. These people are very smart and they're very good at the finer details. So to be able to accomplish something like this, you have to have that gift of gab and to be able to be convincing, to convince others to even work with you, to have this huge enterprise, and you have to be good at money, exchange. He also has a well-placed Saturn exalted in Libra. You need to have patience. You need to have perseverance. You need to know when not to act, and dedication, hard work to accomplish something that's seemingly impossible. And the number one thing is having Jupiter and Swati Nakshatra. Swati is the multi-millionaire nakshatra, even billionaires. It gives someone an independent nature. So these people are very self-reliant, and they have the ability to accomplish that. And Jupiter in there just expands that ability. So that's why these people end up being very good at money, very good at accumulating money. They attract it. They are great leaders as well. So they have that ability. He also has Mars in Scorpio. So that's a very well-placed Mars. In order to accomplish these things, you have to be a person who can act on it. If you see an opportunity, you can act on it. And then you have the Mercury, the intellect, to accomplish this as well. You don't have the wisdom and you don't have the intellect to do these things, then it's not going to get accomplished. And he also has Rahu in Ardhara, which is a Rahu nakshatra. Rahu, that's why you see him posted with all of his cars, his jewelry on Instagram, which is ultimately what got him caught. Because Rahu is flashy, Rahu is ego. So Rahu can get you at the top of the game, but it can bring you back down because you were way too in your ego. And that's ultimately what got him caught. With all these skills, why did the person become a criminal? Is the question. Because with all these skills, you could have a huge enterprise and it could be legal and you wouldn't have to worry. The people at the top business, it's not that they're doing everything legal. They just know the ways to get around the law. And this person could definitely have done that. Why didn't they? And the answer is the moon. the moon in Ashlesha. Ashlesha creates victimizers or victims, criminals. Not everybody. It is a difficult nakshatra because to use it properly, you're going to have to really connect to your spiritual side and enlightened side, because this is a kundalini. It's a snake, right? But you can also use the snake as being sneaky, as being diabolical and slithery in that type of nature. So the snake can go both ways, can enlighten you or bring you back down. So that is a very difficult moon, but it's a perfect moon for a criminal. So what you got to do is, when you have a chart that's this perfect, I wish that someone could have told them that, hey, you have a really amazing chart. You have all of these abilities. It doesn't mean that you have to do it in that way and then now, go to jail for 11 years. He will come out and he will be able to do this again. It's just based on his chart. But you would have to look at the dasha system as well to see, maybe he's not in the dasha to do that anymore. But with the chart like this showing the intellect and all of that, it is a person who could get back on their feet, no problem. So maybe he can rethink that while he's in jail, that, hey, I have all of these skills and I could use it for something that doesn't get me caught in the end. The other example is Mikki the gambler. Now, he is a high stakes gambler and he is very young, born in 91. And he started to get noticed because he started winning a lot of money. He is currently a multi-millionaire. He's the unofficial king of Baccarat. Hopefully I said that right. And he said he allegedly developed an algorithm that gives him an edge each time so that he takes the card floor. Well, we're gonna talk about that, but he was so good, he started winning so much that actually celebrities like Drake and other ones like that get him to gamble for them, because he just has this edge over gambling. He also owned and sold many of his own businesses before this, and now he's a pro gambler and regularly cleans up the tables. He is so good, in fact, that most casinos in Las Vegas have banned him from playing on their floors. The first to ban him was the MGM Grand. He's only currently allowed to play at 3 casinos in Vegas. He admits when he was younger, he'd indulge in underage gambling, so he's always been a gambler. Now, how is he able to do that? Well, from the moon, because we don't have the exact time of his birth, so we're using the moon. The 5th house from the moon, he has Sun and Mars in Swati Nakshatra. So someone who's independent, someone who had many businesses, sold them, that's very Swati Nakshatra, does their own thing, and able to accumulate multi-millions of dollars. The 5th house is the house of gambling. So that's why this makes a lot of sense. And that is in Libra, and the Lord of the 5th house is in the 3rd house with Jupiter, expanding that to make him even more lucky in that area. Now, it's not an algorithm that makes someone good at gambling, although you may think that. You may think that that's your edge when you don't know astrology. It's your chart. So if you are someone who wants to win at gambling, you have to have a good 5th house. That's one of them. You have to have a good 11th house and 2nd house of money as well. And if you want to make that a career, you got to have a good 10th house. But just to make this the most simplest terms, that's why some people can just win and some people lose. You could have some skill. It does take skill for sure, but someone could have a lot of skill and know how to play the game and then they just never win. And that's because of the multi-millionaire nakshatra in the 5th house. I can tell you an example of this. My 5th house is Cancer and I have an exalted moon in Taurus. So one day someone took me to the casino and they said, let's play one of the slots, right? And I didn't know. Now I know that there is like a 90-something% chance that you're going to lose. And so we went there and he's like, pick which slot you want to play. And I'm like, okay, that one. So then he put money in, instantly won $400 because of my 5th house. And I've always been very good at things to do with luck. It's actually house of luck as well. And that's based on your past life karma. And that's why you get a good house like that. So that's just a personal example of what I have. I've also mentioned in one of my videos that there's an astrologer on YouTube, AC Astro, I think. And he mentioned one time that if you get the water when it rains, if it rains when the moon is in a Swati Nakshatra, then if you grab that water, put it in a safe in the southwest corner of your home, then now you have the energy of this multi-million-dollar nakshatra, and that can help bring a lot of wealth into your life. So if you don't have this nakshatra, then you can actually use that as a way of bringing that energy into your house. So that's just another example of what Swati can do. Yeah, I thank you so much for watching. That's just a little bit about that, and I'll see you in the next one.